Alright, time for a battle of slime versus slime to see who will win. Turns out the slime mount comes out victorious. Hey there, my name is Salendrak and welcome back to my Terraria version 1.4 Journey's End Beginner's Guide series. This episode is about everyone's favorite blob, King Slime, and we'll cover the boss in all difficulties as well as show you some tips and tricks on how to abuse this guy throughout the game for your own personal benefit. Timestamps are down in the description, and as always, if you find this video helpful, informative, or at the very least somewhat entertaining, please hit that like button and leave me a comment down below. Also, feel free to join my Discord to meet up with other Terraria players and check out my community page for my live stream schedule. Links to both are down in the description. And with all that out of the way, let's get to it. King Slime is often the first boss you'll run into in a new Terraria world, yet defeating the boss is entirely optional, and he can be completely skipped without hindering your progress. That said, there are several reasons you'll likely want to down this guy, and there are a couple of special uses for him even later in the game. As for spawning, there are a couple of ways to get him to show up. The most common has to do with slime rains. This event has about a 10% chance of occurring each day once you've consumed at least 2 crystal hearts and have 140 health and King Slime hasn't yet been killed in your world. Once the slime starts falling from the sky, you'll just have to kill 150 of these little blobs, and then King Slime will appear to defend his brethren. The rain itself will last for between 9 to 15 in-game hours, and if you fail to defeat enough slimes, the slime rain will eventually end with the boss not appearing. So if it starts raining slime and you don't feel ready to fight the king, just head underground and you'll be able to avoid him. The rain will also end shortly after King Slime is defeated, and once you've dethroned him, slime rains will thereafter have only about a 5% chance of happening, and you'll only have to kill 75 slimes to get the king to come out. Another way to spawn King Slime is to craft and use the Slimy Crown, which is made by taking a gold or platinum crown made with a ruby and 5 bars of the respective ore and combining it with 20 gel at an evil altar. This will immediately spawn the boss when used without the presence of or causing any slime rain, which arguably could make the fight much easier since you won't have any extra slimes hopping around. And finally, King Slime is a unique boss in the sense that it is the only boss that has a chance to randomly spawn much like a regular mob. If you are in the outer thirds of your world, King Slime has a rare chance to spawn just like any other rare mob if it is daytime, you're above a depth of 0, and there's a grassy area for him to spawn in. Note that this chance to spawn is in both pre-hard mode and hard mode and can happen regardless of your total health, so take care if you make it to the edges of the world in the very early game. As for the fight itself, it's really pretty straightforward. King Slime basically just hops about just like any other slime, the only difference being that he's huge, does heaps of damage, and can teleport to your location if you either get too far away or he gets blocked or trapped in the terrain. On normal difficulty he does 40 damage per hit, and it goes up to 64 on expert and a massive 96 on master mode. As King Slime takes damage, he will spawn additional blue slimes, and on expert and master mode, spiked slimes will be added to the mix. These guys have more health and do more damage than their normal blue counterparts, and they also shoot little projectiles. Because of the trail of slimes the king will leave in his wake, you'll generally want to stay ahead of him as you move off to the side. For this reason, a large flat area or even a raised platform is generally your best terrain for fighting him, so that you won't have to dodge between his spawn slimes while also avoiding the king. Note that slimes themselves aren't very smart, and if you have a slime rain, then staying under a platform will allow you to avoid both the rained and king slime spawns, as they won't drop through platforms even if you've aggroed them. The king, however, will drop between platforms to follow you, which can be used to your advantage if you want to take him on in a fighting arena. Just push down to drop to a lower level, and once he's followed, quickly grapple jump above to get back up. The king will fall down, leaving you all alone on the upper level. With practice, you can learn to avoid the king pretty well at all difficulty levels, and by damaging him when he's only on lower levels or even the ground, you'll ensure that you'll be able to move about freely without any slime interference. As the king loses more and more health, he will start to get smaller and will also start to move faster and faster. So you'll want at least a swiftness potion or a pair of Hermes boots or other speed boots in order to stay ahead of him. Otherwise, hopefully you have at least a grappling hook by the time you take on the king and have set up at least a basic fighting arena with multiple levels of platforms. As far as weapons go, you can use just about anything to take him down, although something with at least a little bit of range is definitely preferred. Higher damage weapons of course means that the fight will be over faster, but you can take him out with pretty low level stuff. Piercing weapons can also be nice so you can reduce the number of trailing slimes, as can grenades, though you'll want to make sure you stay out of the blast radius. In general though, this boss is pretty easy to take down so long as you have at least a little bit of added speed and mobility. I'm not going to take the time to go through each of the various class options, as just about anything will work, particularly if it has some range. Similarly, potion and arena buffs will help you out, and for more on those, check out my guide on the topic. As far as accessories and armor, really just go with whatever you've got at the time. As you get further and further in the game, he will of course get easier and easier, and if he does pop out in hard mode, well, let's just say the fight will be over really fast. As far as loot, there are a couple of nice items the king drops. The slime hook is a fairly low reach grappling hook, but one of the earliest multi-hooks you can get in the game, having 3 hooks. He always drops one piece of ninja gear with a 33% chance to drop the hood, shirt, or pants respectively. This used to be a throwing set before the 1.4 update, but now it simply provides a 20% increased movement speed set bonus, while each piece boosts critical strike chance by 3%. The set's defense is on par with a set of iron armor. Oh, and fun fact, the armor is from a ninja who lost a fight against the king and got trapped, and according to Redigit, one of the Terraria creators, that ninja is the guide NPC's brother. The Slimy Saddle is a mount summoning item, and this thing can be a lot of fun to play with. It's not a particularly fast mount, but does give you an amazing jump height of 21 tiles, and it decreases your fall damage by half. Which you're gonna need if you land on anything much lower than where you started. Unless of course the thing you land on happens to be a monster or something, in which case you'll do damage to the target while bouncing back up, and then take damage when you do eventually land on the ground. Because that's right, this mount likes to hop on things and can be quite useful in a number of situations, including bosses like the Eater of Worlds, or even Skeletron when his head is spinning. It also doubles as a flotation device and greatly increases your fall speed, so pretty handy when you want to go down in a hurry, such as falling down a elevator shaft to the underworld. Just be sure to double jump, grapple, or have a fall damage eliminator like a lucky horseshoe or wings so you don't go splat on impact. Other items dropped by King Slime include the Solidifier that lets you make slime-themed furniture items, the Slime Gun novelty item that does no damage, just get things wet with slimy goop, the King Slime Vanity headpiece, and of course, the King Slime trophy, which has a 10% chance to drop. On Expert or Master mode, the boss accessory he drops is the Royal Gel, which causes most slime-related creatures to become passive towards you, much like critters. It's not terribly useful unless you're using it in a slime rain, but it can be sold for a modest 2 gold. So although King Slime doesn't drop the most useful items, that doesn't mean he doesn't have his uses. For King Slime can be quite useful even into hard mode when you might want to, say, kill a bunch of mobs in a particular biome for some reason. Examples include fighting the king in the hard mode ocean biome to get pirate invasion spawning pirate maps, which have a 1% chance to drop from any enemy killed in or near the ocean in hard mode. You could also fight King Slime in hopes of getting hard mode biome keys, but given those have a 1 in 2,500 chance of dropping, I personally wouldn't bother trying to farm them with this method. You're probably better off doing solar eclipses or setting up cavern farming areas where you'll get much better loot overall while also farming other good hard mode items. And that's pretty much it for King Slime. There also used to be a number of slime mount related glitches you used to be able to do, but so far as I know, most if not all of those were patched out in the 1.4 update. But if there are any you know of that still work, please let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!